go to Ashtanga Yoga briefly about 10-15 minutes concepts before we go to the asanas. So Ashtanga Yoga, as you know, is from the source of Patanjali's Yoga Sutra. So let us get ready now. First will be a little bit of theory before you go into the asanas. So we'll deep dive into understanding the core principles of Ashtanga Yoga, not just asanas, the 8 angas, which we believe will be useful to all of us, so that we can attempt to make it as part of our daily activities. So yoga, I think, will be done by Krithiga. So now.
First of all, thanks to Sir, Ma'am, and everyone. It is a very beautiful day, and it is a very beautiful. Yes. It's a very beautiful day, and I'm very happy to talk about Ashtanga Yoga. So this is nothing new. We all know about it already. Just that it is I am reflecting it only. That's all. So there is nothing that I am doing with anything from my knowledge. It is all what we know. We are reflecting it together. So first of all, let's start the session with the prostrations to our Gurudev. Samasta Janakalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavikvaram. As you all know, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali has written Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So now we will do the prostrations to page Patanjali. Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacha Malam Sharirasya Chavaidhyakena Yogaharotam Pravaram Munina Patanjalim Pramanjalirana. So, the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is divided into 4 chapters, which is listed as here: the Samadhi Pada, Sadhana Pada, Vibhuti Pada, and the Kaivalya Pada. So, the Sutra numbers are written here. So, before getting into the subject, let's see why we have to know this. Only if we know the significance, we will take that really inward and try to understand it and assimilate it. So, first let us see why we need to understand it. First, let's ask a question to ourselves. Do we really know all of us by ourselves? For that, let me have an illustration. Many start themselves knowing to be their body. So that is their first identification. But if you contemplate more, they understand that the body cannot do on its own. So they think that they are the mind. The mind is driving behind, because of which the body acts. So, are we really the mind? For that, let's see here. There is a car. I am sitting in a car. Assume you are sitting in a car. Will you say that you are a car? No, I don't think so. So if you say you are not the car and you are the person who is sitting inside, similarly you cannot say you are the mind and the body, because that is all the outer covering, as we know, the koshas, and we are not that. So now we understood who we are. Like, we didn't understand exactly, but at least we understood that ours is a wrong notion. So when and how will we know about ourselves? Let's see that. So here we already know our Gita Dhyana Shloka, where we have studied that Dhyana Vastita Tadgane Tat Svatena Manasa Pashyanti. So in the seat of meditation, when you do the Dhyana, then you see who? Your true nature. So that is what we have to do. So only in the seat of Dhyana, in the meditation, we can know our true nature. So for that, is it easy that you just sit in the Dhyana and you can understand your own self? No. So for that, we need to go to a Guru, seek his guidance. We need to read the Shastras. We need to intellectually understand it, contemplate it further, and then in the Dhyana, it will work. For that, Patanjali has written this 8 limbs of Yoga Sutra. So, we all know this tree, very familiar, which we have seen last year itself. So, I have taken the same picture here. So, what Ashtanga Yoga says here is Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhaya, Ashtau Angani. So, it is not that just the Pranayama or the Asana alone, but we have so much to do. And also the Yama, Niyama, first steps. Without Yama Niyama, you are not even fit and you are not even ready to take up the further steps. So first step is the, as you see here, Yama and as you see here, it is Yama and the Niyama are the first steps. So let's quickly get into the topic and see further about the Yama. So here, when you get into the Yama, what Patanjali says is Ahimsa Satya Asteya Brahmacharya Parigraha Yamaha. So all these, whatever is listed here, the 5 are to be followed. So I will explain this in brief later. First, let's quickly go through the first 8 limbs. Moving on. So this is the meaning which I will anyway give it you later. So moving to the next. So the Niyama. Niyama are the rules which is necessary to purify yourself. Like as you all know, with the guidance of Seshadri sir, Chitta Shuddhi, Chitta Ekagrata and Chitta Vishalata only will make you a fit spiritual aspirant. So for that you need to follow the Niyamas which are Saucha, Santosha, Tapaha, Swadhyaya and Ishvara Pranidhana. So these are all the rules for purifying not only your body but also the mind, which is the key factor. So moving on further, so once you are fit, now are we still ready? No, because many of us have got ailments towards our physical body. So in order to avoid, because in the seat of meditation you cannot feel our true nature, because we will have a diversion towards some pain or the other, some ailment or the other. So that should not happen. In order to be so, the asanas are very much important, which is given by Patanjali to me as Sthira Sukha Asana. So you should have the firm base, and it should not the firm is restricted to movements, but instead it should be very comfortable. Once you have a comfortable firm base, then you are ready further. So moving on to the next is pranayama. Pranayama is equally important because once you pranayama is the life force. Once you have the life force regulated very well, only then you are ready. So like how pranayama is not prana dikshana alone, but the control of the life force through the correct method. So which anyway we are going to do that which will be guided by our guru. So I will quickly move on to the next one, which is pratyahara. So once you are regulated your breath is ready to listen to you. Are you still ready? No, because your mind and the senses are not yet ready. Though your body is ready, your pranas are regulated. There is one more thing which is like the sense organs. The sense organs are the first enemies for us, because all the enemies enter through the sense organs first. So what you have to do, you should be like a tortoise. Whenever there is an enemy that is coming towards us, what is the enemy? Or the sense objects. The sense objects are so much luring that the sense organs want to go and get satisfied. So in order to avoid it, just like a tortoise, we need to remove our limbs, that is the Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, and not allow it to go outward. So this is the pratyahara. Moving forward is the dharana. The dharana, we all know that the chitta ekagrata only will make us ready for the dhyana and samadhi. So for the chitta ekagrata, you need a single pointed concentration. There are many techniques. So one of them is japa, which we are going to have it today. So that japa will make your mind, whichever is going outward, to bring it inward through our recitation. What are all that? Either Pauranika or Vaidika. We will be doing both today. So the Pauranika and Vaidika mantras will make your mind with the right vibration and will allow your mind to go inward. Further moving on is the dhyana. So okay, now you have got the chitta ekagrata. So what is next? What is next is now only you are fit. So these are all just the initial steps. So you have not now in the dhyana and samadhi only, you are actually trying to see your own self. What is that dhyana? Is actually what we like our sadhakas takes us to in the during the meditation session. We see the beautiful lips of Lord Krishna or whoever is your idol, and you keep looking at it. So that is the initial step. So that is the dhyana, where you keep looking at your idol and then you bring it into your thought process and meditate on that. So that is the first step. Moving on, after the dhyana is the samadhi. So samadhi is, there are two, as we know, is the savikalpa samadhi and the nirvikalpa samadhi. So the savikalpa samadhi is where we get the sajatiya vritti pravaha. So initially we will have Vijatiya. Vijatiya means many thoughts. You are getting lots of thoughts. In the Dharana, you try to bring back the mind whenever it goes out. Definitely when we do Japa or any other form of Dharana, the mind is going outward. In order to bring it back, we need to use our intellect to make it firm that this time is only for me, not for my family, not for any other purpose, instead only for me. In that, the Dharana makes, when you have a firm Dharana, then automatically these steps are very easy. And in the Savikalpa Samadhi, you see only, you have only the Aham Brahmasmi thought. So that is the Sajatiya. And further, when you keep understanding the Aham Brahmasmi, not just intellectual chanting, but when you understand and absorb into it, then the Aham Brahmasmi also gets dropped. And that is where the Nirvikalpa Samadhi is attained, which is your true nature, where you don't need any words. The silence itself is your true nature, which you will understand when you attain it. So, now, this is what is the chart we have been following for quite some time, and we have been daily using it during introspection to see whether we are qualified or where we have to work on. So, moving on further, now let's see the Yama Niyama in brief. So, what about Ahimsa? Many think that Ahimsa is not harming only physically. No, Ahimsa is not harming physically. Also, with respect to that of the mother nature, like how we did the Upasana now, we should take care of the mother nature, and once you take care of the mother nature, by not wasting water, not polluting, not cutting trees, all this, that itself is the first step. And next is, as said by Patanjali Muni, that you will have no more enemies once you are established in Ahimsa. Ahimsa should not be a one day, it cannot be achieved in a one day. It has to be done daily and regularly. And what about non-harming exactly means is, there is some more, not only physical, which is the thought level also. In the thought level, when you think about something harmful or something bad about others, that comes to you during the meditation. So, even ahimsa in the thought level is not good for your own self. Though it will not harm others, it will harm you. So, the next moving forward is with respect to the words. So, if you get hurt, that will be pain for 1 day, 2 days, but when somebody hurts you, it stays for you for long. So, if that happens to you, similarly, the same for others too. So, you need to remember that whenever it hurts me, similarly it will hurt others too. And so, I need not want to use harsh words to say something. Instead, I can politely also make them understand. So, this is what is the two other methods. So, it is not only this. Do you think ahimsa to others alone is the key? No. Ahimsa to your own self also. So, you should not be having any harmful thought or any low thought about your own self also. Why? Let's see. So, these are all the few examples. When you are going on a road, there is a driver who wants to overtake you, but you want to reach there much more early. And when he is overtaking you or when he cuts you off, how will be your reaction? If you think, introspect, will you be happy? Will you see the divinity in him? No. So that is what the first, you should find the divinity in the driver also who overtakes you. This is one example. There is one more example that you have a conversation at home. You want to decide on something, but they have another thing in mind. Each of you have a contradiction. But there will be no harm if you follow what they are saying. So, will you follow that or will you be grumbling that I don't like it? So, instead, if there is no harm in following it, why can't you follow? So, that is the second way. And the last one is, if you daily you do meditation. Today in the meditation, you are not well, you cannot do. Will you think bad about yourself? Or in the meditation, you have lots of thoughts and you could not have a clear meditation. Then you should not think that I have failed. So that is the first step we fail. So instead, you take it as a challenge and put it forward in a positive way the next day. So not harming your own self is coming here, that you should not put yourself low. And further moving on, is the Satya, truthfulness. So we know all about truthfulness. Okay. We all know all about truthfulness, which is unoffending, pleasing, and beneficial. Many of them do keep doing gossip. So, or talking about something else Instead, if you have the truthful talking, where it is not only about thoughts but words and also thoughts and deeds, then and also whoever you speak to, it should be beneficial to them. If it is beneficial, you speak. If it is not, you don't even speak. You understand that it is not needed at all. So that is the Satya. Moving on to the next one is Asteya, that is not stealing. Many will think that I have already achieved Asteya. There is nothing to work on it. No. If you go in depth, what Asteya is you need to, when you are spending time in your work or spending time with your family, you should not get distracted. So, for example, many of us use WhatsApp, Facebook, and many other social media. So, we need to introspect whether we really see the time used during this whatever we are spending. So if you are not spending the right time, if you are spending it for others or distracted with many other things, then you are now failing in Asteya. Moving on is Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya, many think that I should not indulge in this, I should not indulge in that. It is like a ball. When you press a ball in the water, it bounces back that much faster how much ever you press. So Brahmacharya is not the one which is restricting, but moderation. So how do we moderate is whenever you take food or whenever you purchase or something, you should really question whether it is really needed. If it is not needed, then why is it necessary? So this is one way, and also with respect to the thoughts, this is much important for us because we will have uncontrolled, many all have uncontrolled thoughts. Instead, in the Brahmacharya, you need to see whether I have this thought has to be entertained or not. So always be mindful. And the last key point is faith. This is what we have learned from ourselves. It's the first step itself, that faith and fear. So if you have fear, then faith cannot come. So you should always have faith over fear. Moving on to the aparigraha, this is it is not just the greed or acquiring something. Instead, you should see that is it really needed for me now? If it is really not needed for you for 1 month, then understand that you will not use it for at all. So you should either give away to somebody or you should not further purchase anything. So Asteya is like, aparigraha is like having something more than what you really need. And further moving on is the niyama, where it is saucha. Saucha is cleanliness. Cleanliness towards the environment, cleanliness towards the body, and cleanliness towards the mind also. So we should what are the thoughts, words and deeds. And this is the example where we always fail. Either we read newspaper or we watch any match or any news, then our mind gets dirt, the mala gets accumulated. Instead, you should question that really is it needed for me. If it is not needed, we need to skip. But next is the santosha, contentment. This is a beautiful example. We all know that how happiness is attained. That is by the desire fulfilled, by the desire entertained. When you keep entertaining many desires, then you will not be able to fulfill it. Instead, if you have zero desire, then automatically the happiness becomes infinity, irrespective of it fulfilled or not. So let us move towards the desire to desirelessness. And this is what I have learned from our sir in PDP class. So I thought that this is much needed for the contentment also, that we always have 3 C's, that is criticize, complain and condemn. Instead of that, when we have accept, adjust and appreciate, then that will change not only about ourselves but also others, so that they will also be happy. Instead of criticizing them, if you appreciate them, then they will be feeling happy. So moving on further is the tapas. So we know in Bhagavad Gita we have already studied about 3 tapas, that is the Sharira tapas, Vak tapas and Manasika tapas. If we understand that and follow that itself, then you are established in tapas. And moving on is the Swadhyaya. So Swadhyaya, many may think that I have already been doing daily, so I am already established. No, Swadhyaya is not just restricted to the study. It has to be first the study, then understand it intellectually, then reflect on it, and then contemplate it. So Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, all 3 put together comes under Swadhyaya. And the final one is the Ishvara Pranidhana. Though it's lost, it's not the least, because that is the Karma Yoga, where you do not want the results of whatever you are doing, and you give and also it is not just restricted to the daily puja or some temple visit. You need to find the divinity around everyone and everything. So once you find the divinity around everyone and everything, then automatically you will prostrate towards everything and also the nature, and you should not get offended with anybody, because you should put yourself in the shoes of others. Finally, I want to say that we should be like how Krishna says to Arjuna that you are just a nimitta matram, just like how I am just a nimitta matram here. Through us, God is making things do. Nothing is done by us alone. Thank you.